Just had a work day, and now I'm chilling with you.
Man, where do you work? Are you talking about producing, or do you have a full-time job?
Well, yeah, producing is my full-time job.
Okay, so you were working on a record, like someone else's or your own, or what?
Well, today I've worked on four different projects. I
Holy
mixed and
shit.
mastered a song for a band, and also did some mixing adjustments for other mixes, and yeah, just like that.
Man, that's sick. Like when I guess I don't know how this works. Do people come to you to be a producer, or do you kind of like keep your eye out for up and coming bands that you think show promise?
Well, mm, both kind of. I'm mostly getting contacted by bands because they know me from Mirage, for example, or my previous band projects I had, and like all the other bands I'm producing. And yeah, but sometimes when I find a band on YouTube, whatever, and I think like the songs are really sick and really good, but the production is kind of sucky, then I'm gonna message them and see what goes. Yeah.
Man, because yeah, it's pretty funny. I think two or three of the bands that you manage or produce have reached out to me after I did the reaction video to you. And they're
Really?
like, hey, yeah, they're like, dude, Timo's like our producer, want to do our song? I was like, oh God, what did I get myself into here?
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. I was so stoked when I got a message from you guys, because I got a message from you guys and Demotional on like pretty much the same day. And I
Okay.
was like, sick. The channel's big enough to like people are like, ooh, let's get on Arc Vision now.
Well, yeah, I found you on YouTube like a couple of months ago, and yeah, I like watching reaction videos and stuff. And then I was like, okay, when we're dropping Remedy, I'm gonna message this guy, and yeah.
Dude, that's sick. What song did you check out of mine first?
I can't remember. No, I really don't know right now which
Dude,
one it was.
it's all good, bro. But like yeah, because that's what you had said, and because I forget, I don't know if it was you who reached out or like your label. I think it was your label who reached out on behalf of you, or were
Uh,
you the one who actually said like, hey, we have a band, our Mirage, and our
yeah,
song
I
Rem.
messaged you. I messaged you. Yeah,
Oh shit, it was you. Okay,
yeah.
it was so professional. I didn't even know it was you. But yeah, man. Like when I saw that you had been following the channel for a while, I was kind of like, is this how people butter you up? Like they figured out your channel yesterday. They're like, yeah, we really like your stuff. We've been following you for a while.
No, I actually watched a couple of videos of you before. So
Sick. Yeah. What do you man? What do you like about them? Like, what do you like about reactions? Is it just I guess what everyone likes?
well, I for sure like reaction videos for the reaction of the people, and if people are like really passionate about music and kind of understand what's going on in the music and what the artist is trying to do and what they're trying to achieve. And for example, in the video you did for us, um, you kind of like you were listening to the first verse and said, okay, this guy's going to have a powerful voice, and you kind of heard all the little details we put in there, and I really like that about your videos, that you really pay attention to even the smaller parts, and most people actually don't care about that. And most reaction video guys, let's call them like this, are like, oh yeah, cool song, and then they're just referring to other songs. Oh, this is like this is like this, but you're like going into detail, and I like that.
Dude, you're making me blush, bro. Like, no, that's cool, man. Because Yeah, I do, like, because when you reached out the first time and you said, hey, like, we're coming with a new song, Remedy. I was, because I have a hard, I'm learning how to say no a lot more, but like when I'm an up and coming channel, like I want to say yes to everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, but then like like people don't realize, I think I get like 5 messages, like probably 10 messages a week or something of people trying to get their song. And at first I always say, like, at first it's like, yeah, I'll take every single one. Back when I had like 1,000 subscribers, I could just take any video. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. Yeah. But it gets to the point now where I'm like, there's so many. Like, and it would be a full-time job just reacting to up and coming bands. And so this is where I'm getting with you guys. I was like, are these guys gonna be shit? So like I looked up at some of your other songs, and I heard Transparent. And
the latest single before.
Yeah, and I was like, I think I got a bit in. I was like, okay, these guys they're showing some promise. Like, I kind of like that, like that guitar style that a lot of post-hardcore bands have, where you just kind of like noodle, you do like an arpeggio riff or something, or you'll just kind of like do that. And I was like, okay, I've heard this before. And then you come in, and I'm like, interesting. And then you get to the chorus. I was like, I'm sold. I paused it. I just shut it off because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get more into this. I might even do a reaction to that song later down the line. Nice. But yeah, man, honestly, bro, like you, I find you stand out a lot. How long have you been really singing?
Like when I started singing, or when I was singing as a front vocalist in a band?
Yeah, let's say professionally.
Okay. I think, like, let's say professionally, I'm singing since 2010.
Okay, so yeah, you got 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, 10 years as being a main vocalist. Back then, I was 16. I had I'm from Germany, and I had a German alternative band. I was playing guitar and singing, and actually we won like a prize for being the best German alternative band from 2011. I have that here. Wait.
Yeah, dude, get it, bro.
Yeah, this is.
Dude.
This is the
rock
German.
And pop.
Yeah,
bro, that's like the biggest insult to a metal singer is rock and pop.
Back then, I was in the poppy alter. Like, it was like kind of Paramore with a little heavier influence, let's say, like this, a little bit of screaming in there. And we won the first prize back then. And I'd say this was like the first professional band with me singing. And like before that, I actually was part of a German kiddies football pop band that was casted, and I was playing the bass and doing background vocals, and we actually like had a record deal to Sony Music back then.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that was super crazy. I was 13.
Oh my god, dude! It was like Family Channel.
Yeah, and like I was like in a really big, like all the big studios in Germany. I was at this young age with the biggest music producers back then. And
no way.
Yeah, and that's when I decided to become a music producer later. And because all these like amazing experiences we had there, and all these like creative people, like I was sitting there and watching everything and asking them. It probably was super annoying to them as a little kid and asking everything, but like as my other bandmates were just like doing stupid stuff somewhere, I was just sitting there and like learning. And I learned a lot back then, and that's why I'm writing the songs right now for my band, for example.
Yeah, because like honestly, when I think of you, because like, I had these like 2 or 3 bands reach out trying to get on the channel after I did your song, and I was like, man, like this dude has his own band. He like you look pretty young, so I was like, he doesn't seem like he's that old. He's producing, like, yeah, he's a producer, he's a singer, he's a writer, and I was just like, man, what is this guy's story? Because it started young for you, 13 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, man. Do you man, so like are you, I don't want to use the word like old soul, but like any 13-year-old that is like hanging out with music producers, asking a billion questions about like the technical art of music and like and production, like yeah, you're just a different kind of guy, aren't you?
Well, could be, yeah. Like for me, it was pretty clear, pretty early, what I wanted to do later, and so I made all my decisions in life with school and studying and stuff, like to get that goal. And like for sure, it's also super hard to be self-employed.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew that, and that's why I like in Germany you have that, like the highest school degree is called Abitur. It's like the, I don't know how it is. You're
Is
from
that
America, right?
high school, university, college?
Yeah, like not university, but like the thing you need to get on university, for example.
High school, right?
Could be. Yeah, I'm
Sure,
not familiar
sure.
with the American school system.
Let's
So.
say high school. And by the way, I'm Canadian, but
Oh, Canadian. Okay.
oh, dude, I don't care. It's like the same thing to me. Like United States and Canada, fuck it. But anyway, so yeah, so so high school in Germany. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I got that, like the highest school degree. Then when I finished that, I was like, okay, I'm going to study audio engineering now, and on the SAE, that's a like School of Audio Engineering. It's, you can go there everywhere on the world. Like I'm sure in America or Canada, there's also schools like that. And I knew that I was going to study it, so I thought, okay, afterwards I want to be self-employed and have my own studio. What can I do to have like customers from the first day? So I started doing YouTube videos, like of me doing vocal covers. That was back in 2013, like vocal covers with screaming, like Asking Alexandria, like all the big bands back then. And like, unfortunately, like my channel I had with two friends kind of blew up. We had like 100,000 subscribers. And like, I was super smart and put my studio in the back of the video. And so that's why I got my first customers. And yeah.
Dude,
so I built myself up from right after finishing school.
Holy shit, dude. Man, look at you go, bro. Dude, that's fucking dope. Okay, so like my next question is so you're 26.
Yes.
Our Mirage has been around for 3 years.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So it's a brand new project, started in 2017 roughly. So you had this band when you were 2010, the Nickelodeon thing. You won the award in 2011, and this was like the Paramore pop alternative thing. What did you have any big bands in between that band and our Mirage?
Yes. I was a singer of a band called Forever in Combat. That's it's
Forever in Combat. That's so metal, bro.
Yeah, I know. That was like resulting from the YouTube channel we had. It was like with the two dudes playing guitar, and the fans said, okay, start a band. So we did, and we also had a record deal and put out an album and stuff, and had like 100,000 of views and had fans all over the world. And but like it was kind of hard because one guy was coming from Sweden, I'm from Germany, and the other guy was from Dubai. And
holy shit, dude.
Yeah, and that's like because we all made music together from these different countries. That's why we became like famous. And but like it didn't feel like a band later, like not practicing, not like playing that many shows and stuff. So I didn't really feel it anymore. And then I decided to leave the band and start our Mirage. And then we released the first single, and after 2 weeks we completely blew up already.
Okay, it's crazy. I'm like, how have I not heard of you before Remedy? I was like, oddly enough, man, like I call myself a metalhead on the channel, but
Yeah.
I kind of like, because I used to be so into metal back in 2013. Like I was a late bloomer. I got into rock and metal, like metal, Bullet for a Valentine, Killswitch
Yeah.
Engage, that kind of stuff. I got into that like my senior year of high school, which was I would have been 17 years old. So that's kind of the last year of high school in
Yeah.
Canada and United States, about 17. And like I went into like a lot of death metal, like Killswitch Engage, In Flames, Bullet for Valentine. I scoured almost everything. And then we got into While She Sleeps, Architects. But in the last like couple of years, I've noticed I haven't really found that many bands anymore. So maybe that's how I didn't, because I feel, dude, if you were out in 2015, I would have found you 100%. Like, because I knew everything, man. Even like the most underground bands. Fucking, like that's why I found Demotional and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a question there. Okay, so like our Mirage, when you created the band, what is your thinking process? What kind of scope? What thoughts do you have about our Mirage? What do you want it to be like down the road? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yes, for sure. Well, our Mirage like started like kind of like I wrote the first song Nightfall. I don't know if you already have heard all of the songs we released.
No, just the Transparent album and Remedy.
Okay. And from the very first album, our biggest hit single ever was Nightfall. It's on 4.3 million views right now on YouTube. And that song I wrote that when I was still in the Forever in Combat band. But I was like feeling super down at that time. Because it didn't feel like a band anymore, and I was super frustrated, and I was like kind of thinking a lot about depression, because I had a really, really hard time in my life already when I was young.
Well, what happened when you were young, if you don't mind me asking?
I actually also wrote a song about this in Mirage, about this story, and that song is called Reviver. You can listen to that later. Well, it's like when I was 10, yeah, I got on like the how do you call it? After primary school, like when you go to the next school thingy.
Like elementary or kind of junior high kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes. Like when I was 10, I got to the next school thingy, and like one day before, I broke both of my arms, and I fell from a tree. And and from day one in the new class, I got bullied, and for being super stupid, breaking both of my arms. And and then it kept going even when my arms were healed already. They like told me that I was nothing, that I was super stupid, and that's why my grades were pretty shit in school. And yeah, it was pretty bad. And they told me that I don't deserve to live because I'm so shit, and they hate me and stuff. And then at the same time, like my friends at home from my neighborhood, they also like backstabbed me. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's really me. And then I tried to kill myself at 11. And
should I?
Yeah, I tried to hang myself with a rope, but unfortunately, my dad came back from work earlier this day, and then he just came into the door like a minute before I was about to jump. Like, and I already had the rope there, and so that was a kind of shitty situation. But from that day on, my parents took me on another school, and I started making music. I started playing drums back then, and
Wow.
yeah, all that helped me. And yeah, all the depression I had back then, I was thinking about that during the time when I left Forever in Combat, or when I wasn't happy in Forever in Combat, and I started writing a song about like being depressed, how it felt back then, and then like we kind of took it as the whole theme for the band, to deal with depression, with anxiety, with like suicidal thoughts, or like losing someone and stuff, and all these like problems of like the society. Everyone knows something like this, and yeah, we wanted to give a positive message in each song, like talking about all these things that really hit hard. And yeah, that's kind of the reason why we kind of started the band. Like we wanted to help people, and it actually works. We like get messages from people all over the world on a daily basis, that we help them in like a really dark period of time. And it's just heartwarming, all these messages and stuff. And yeah, and I kind of like always try to give the positive message, because I made it out of the depression, and there is a way to get out of there for everyone. It's not the same one for everyone, but the same way for everyone, but yeah, it works.
100%, man. And thank you very much for sharing that.
No problem.
And it was like, because yeah, like I feel like we are kind of at a time where that stigma around like, you know, suicide, depression is finally going away. It's just starting to come out in the open. And hey, maybe that's like, you know, what had you kind of resonate with my channel too, because that's a strong thing for me too, is mental health. Because oh yeah, dude, I was bullied like fucking crazy in high school and shit. Like, and it's funny, and it's just like I was so, you know, because, and I think the thing with, especially because I'm guessing you're a sensitive guy. Most people in rock and metal have a sensitive side. Big hearts, a lot of empathy. They're, like, one thing about creatives is most creatives are sensitive. I literally feel like it's kind of built into our DNA. Like there's a vulnerability to creativity that you need to possess in yourself to be the best artist you can be. Which is why most artists and real, strong, powerful, creative people, there's not many that are like really stoic and like not emotional, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so definitely, yeah, like I feel this is probably a very similar story for a lot of creative people. And not to take it away from you or me or in any way, but it's just like I feel like it's so common. Like my aunt also like tried to kill herself when she was like 15. She had I have a lot of like skeletons in the closet on my mom's side of the family, some really fucked up shit. And so like that's always kind of been in the back of my head. And then my cousin committed suicide when he was 18. I was only 15 years old. So when I look back like on my life, I feel like there's a lot of events that have primed me to being in the position I'm in today, and having the kind of outlook, kind of like you, kind of that like mental health outlook of trying to, rather than make it normal for people to be perfect, like a lot of social media shows you, right? It's people at their best all the time. Like I'm doing my best in the channel to try to cultivate an atmosphere where it's like the normal is the ups and downs. The normal is sometimes you have a shitty day. Like I'm very vocal about it on the channel. Like 2 months ago, I was having a lot of depression. I had some really dark thoughts 2 months ago when this channel was kind of rising and everything. And then same thing, I was probably at my most suicidal 2 years ago. I had recently dropped out of university. And just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like at that point, like I was in university to be a teacher, like literally. Like and now you look at me now, it's like I want to be a high school teacher and just kind of like have a really simple life and just, you know, like have a simple life, you know, nothing too big, nothing too grand. And dude, when I walked out of that, man, I was like, I felt so aimless and I felt like pathetic. Like literally my dad was like, you fucked up, like you're pathetic. And so that was like, I was like, oh shit. Like, cause man, I was like I was probably 20 years old, 21. And like, you know, some people don't be like that's later, but it's like, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like your life experiences, right?
Exactly.
And for me, I just felt aimless, lost, didn't know what I wanted to do. I was thinking of like traveling around the world to go to different universities, and every single one that I applied to, I couldn't find a thesis advisor that I kind of gelled with.
Yeah.
And so, man, I remember, dude, it was Christmas dinner 2 years ago. And we have like, my parents have some friends over and there's music blaring. Yeah. And I'm sitting there and one of my mom's friends comes over and she's kind of like a second mom to me. She has like that like kind of very motherly, nurturing energy. And she ends up sitting down and this is like how you crash a party. But like she ends up asking me how I'm doing. And I just like, it just came out. And like, I just started fucking hyperventilating, like just crying. Like I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with my life. Like I've been having literal thoughts of like ending my life, kind of like my cousin and everything.
Yeah.
And she's like you have a gift for like talking to people. Like you should be a therapist, like a counselor. And that was like the light at the end of the tunnel. Like suddenly it was like, of course I should. Like I need to do something with mental health. And so for the next like year and a half, up until about 1 year ago, I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to just be a therapist. And it wasn't until this last year, listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, watching a lot of reaction channels on YouTube, Alex Hefner, where I was like, okay, like, you know, fuck the counseling. Like that's a great job, but I think I finally found the confidence in myself. I think I finally accepted who I was, like all of my vulnerabilities, my sensitive side, my emotional side. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. Like, what do I actually want to do with my life? Like if I could do anything and life is like, yep, we'll let you go with it, what would I do? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do YouTube. And so sure enough, I was terrified. And I was like, okay, I called up my friend Taryn. I'm like, bro, want to start a YouTube channel with me? so we started dreaming about like this YouTube channel. It was called EME Entertainment, Effectus Media Entertainment. And we were going to do reactions and fucking podcasts and everything. And then what happened was COVID hit. Literally, this was like just 9 months ago. COVID hit. And my mom was like, you got to do it yourself. She's just like, I believe in you. You can do it. And I was like, fuck it. Okay. And then, dude,
sometimes you just have to do it.
You just take the jump. And honestly, man, like, here we are. Like, this all started 7 months ago. And like, it's so weird. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but like, it sometimes feels like 2 lifetimes or 2 people. It's like who you are now and like who you are before is like a different human being. And you're like,
exactly.
Now I'm like, that was another human being that wanted to be a counselor. Like now I'm going to create a fucking media empire, like ArcVision. Like it's going to be fucking huge.
Nice.
And it's just crazy how life like that, it can just change, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's completely true, man. It's sometimes it's just like one moment that can change your whole life and can change you as a person. And well, it sounds really good that you like made it where you are right now, and I'm really happy for you that it came this way.
Thank you, man. And I gotta say, dude, you're a very kind person. Has anyone told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, and it's not like because I find nice gets a bad rap sometimes because like a lot of people are nice, like, oh, that guy's nice, but like true kindness, you rarely hear someone say like that person is kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And honestly, man, yeah, like you're kind. You have this energy about you. And I feel like, down the road, I feel like that's going to be a really big asset to you, because when I think of other people who have that kind of energy, it's like Dave Grohl, of Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
People always say like Dave Grohl is warm. Like he gives off that vibe. He gives that warm. He's funny. He's always laughing. He has that warmth to him. And like, honestly, yeah, man, like you have that too. And I feel like that's going to be a really big asset in your producing career. Like being the front man, you don't necessarily need kindness.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the producer role, I feel like, yeah, man, because I feel like you're going to go far with that. And I feel that as you grow, as you develop more of a following, as more people figure out who Timo Bonner, is it Timo or Timo? Timo. So yeah, as people figure out who like Timo Bonner is, I feel like that is going to be something that you're going to be known for. Is like you can put people at ease. You can kind of, I feel like in many ways too, you could probably get the best take out of singers.
Yes,
and
exactly.
musicians, because you put them at ease. You make them feel comfortable, because as a producer, and as a producer, you're kind of a psychologist at the same time too, because you're like, okay, how do I get you to feel comfortable enough to get the best take? Because we both know that the best take does not come when it's like, rah, 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 you can do this. It's like,
exactly.
It's like the best football teams, the best football coaches, the best hockey coaches, they have a way of calming people down, almost like Zen, like Buddhism, like kind of you get your, like everyone thinks like the football team that's the most revved up is going to win the game. It's like, no, the team that's the calmest, the team that has that deep knowing that they're going to win, they win. And I feel like, I feel like you, as you grow, you'll be able to get that out of artists and stuff.
Yeah, I already like do that a lot. Like, I mean, and every band that comes to the studio, I immediately get along with them. Like I find the connection pretty easily and like easily. That's the correct one. Yeah, it's not my native language. Okay. And and also like I feel when I have a vocalist here in the vocal booth right there, I kind of know how I get the best out of that specific person, like because I think I can like kind of see through most of the people. Like I know what they're made of, kind of, and mostly like the perfect condition for vocals, for example, is to have the person being comfortable, because most of them are like afraid to sing wrong notes. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. Like I also sometimes sing wrong notes. It's like when I record, I take like fucking 10 to 15 takes, and it's normal. And also like it's important to have like a funny side to it all the time, like making jokes, whatever, and like keeping them in a good mood. And but sometimes for specific takes it's important to make them sad sometimes, because if you're like singing like a calm emotional part, you can't like sing with a smile on your face, because you're going to hear that. And like it's important to bring the perfect emotion out of the vocal for that specific part of the song. And I mean, I'm also a singer, and I know how I get myself to sing like this. And so I'm coaching all the bands as well that come into the studio. And like I'm also giving them like vocal lessons, breathing exercises, like telling them how their voice works and even push them over their limits, because most of them are like, oh yeah, I can't sing high. I'm like, no, you can. It's your brain that's covering your high notes, because most of the people like overthink their notes they're singing, because they're singing. Oh, there's coming a high note. I fucked it up. Okay. But it's because they're thinking about it. And like sometimes you just have to let it go. And yeah, that's kind of then the easiest way for that. But I also do that on every musician I have here, also guitarists, bassists, drummers, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of the same process, especially like not with the emotions. You don't need to be sad to play drums, or but yeah, I kind of do that with all the musicians here.
Yeah. What so you play drums, do you play guitar too?
I play drums, I play guitar, I play a little bit of piano, I can play bass, and I sing. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm curious, what are your favorite 5 producers right now in the rock metal landscape?
Well, I think my number one metal producer is right now Andrew Wade. Like he did
a day to remember, right?
Wage War, the latest Attila, and he's like really, he has really nice approaches. He's thinking about stuff, how to get things done easier, or like on a really, really nice level. And I really like that, how he's approaching like new techniques, for example, and he's kind of developing new techniques and stuff. And
what is he doing that's new, do you find?
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with Euro Academy. It's it's like an online school for audio engineers, and like I'm a member of that. And I like, they provide you like the stem tracks, so every single track they recorded for a certain recording. For example, Andrew Wade did Attila 3/6, and he did that on there, and then he mixed it and showed what he did and how he got there and stuff. And you also get to download all these original stem files and can mix it yourself. And like he showed like super cool techniques how to get drums tight, for example. And like I have never seen anyone else doing this, and that was really impressive. And I like his mixes. And another producer I really like is Buster Autoholm from Impact Studios. He's the guitarist of Humanity's Last Breath.
I've never even heard of him.
Well, they're super heavy and super crazy, and like it's like all the time.
Oh shit! And, there you go.
Yeah. And like it's just crazy music. And this guy is like, he's a genius when it comes to mixing, and like he also has like these super crazy approaches like no one else does. And his mixes
for
just
example
slap. For example, he showed a really cool trick on guitars, where he like put an amp on it, like and put like an amp simulator, like a plugin where you just play it into your computer and stuff. And then he put an EQ before that and EQ'd the DI track of the guitar, like to get certain frequencies stick out more out of the DI track instead of like EQing after you did the sound. And then he like crushed everything with more distortion. And it was just like, what the fuck is he doing? It sounds so fucking good. And like I didn't know him before as well. Like only when I heard him or saw him on the URM Academy live mixing session, I was like, okay, this guy is fucking great. And all his mixes just slap so hard. it's just amazing. Yeah. Another producer is probably Joel Wanasek.
Never heard of him either. Damn.
Well, he's from America, and he also did like he did the latest Monuments, for example. Well, you should listen.
I've heard of the name. I've never given them an actual shot. Anyway, go on.
Okay, well, he's also like a really good producer. I like his mixes, and he is extremely funny. And I like just watching his videos because he's really funny. Yeah, these are like my top 3 producers.
And okay, I'm curious because I know my 3 favorite producers. Do 2 more. I want to see if they overlap in any way. Who are 2 more that you really, really like?
2 more. Well, there's one from Germany. Is Chris Wieczorek from NSOK. He's a singer of the band NSOK, and he also has a studio, and I'm in contact with him, and he's at the same label as we, and he's a really, really good producer. And another one, I don't know. The others are like...
Because I was surprised you never... Because my favorite producer right now is a toss-up between Drew Folk. He's probably like my favorite right now because he did the recent Wage War album. He did Motionless in White's Disguise. He's done Shadows Inside by Miss May I. And he did the new Ryan Kirby. Do you know what band I'm talking about? Fit for a King. Okay. Do you know any of those bands? You probably know all of them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Wage War, the latest Wage War album, I didn't like the sound at all.
Oh, you didn't like the mix of it?
No.
Really?
Like my favorite mix of Wage War is the Blueprints album. Like it just slaps like that bass drum.
Okay. I think I know where we're different then. Okay, what do you think of Kevin Shirko, Five Finger Death Punch? In this moment.
I really don't know that, actually.
Really? Okay.
No.
Okay. I think I know the difference between you and me. My favorite mixes all sound big and crisp. Like I don't like the raw in my mix very much. Where I think you like raw more than me because you said like you keep saying slaps. And I'm thinking about all the bands that you're mentioning, and I almost like my stuff more produced. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like crisp. Like it actually doesn't probably sound like what a band actually sounds like live. It sounds cleaner. Like I'm a really big fan of clean mixes. And and also the reason why I like Drew Folk so much is I find I've noticed every band he's worked with, I find he brings out an extremely emotional quality in all of the singers, which I noticed. Like, what's funny is that Wage War's new album Pressure was my favorite that they've ever done. It was my favorite because as I get older, I'm noticing I like the like 4/4 a bit more. You know, that kind of simpler rhythm, almost like the mixture of rock and metal. I'm finding like, and even like Ass Alexandria, they're not the recent one, but the one right before that with their self-titled one. I like it when bands kind of bring things in a bit. Cause like, yeah, I guess I'm not as big of a fan as like melodic death metal and stuff as I used to be, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. I think I like things a bit cleaner now.
Well, I don't like the really raw sound as well. Like I like a mix between like it should like punch and like I want it to be aggressive. Like I like mixes like with a bass drum that like hits you in the guts. And
me too. I like that too.
And like really like it just I like aggression and impacts and stuff. Like when there's like a breakdown or something, or like a new part is, and you hear like poof, you feel it in your stomach and stuff. And that's what I like about mixes. Like, and then it should be clean as well. Like you should hear stuff, everything, like every aspect of the mix should be like noticeable, and it should be wide, bright, and like I think it's a mixture between overly produced and just pure aggression. That's what I like.
Yeah, no, I hear you, because I find some stuff like any more and it would lose its aggression. I know what you mean. Like I feel like Wage War's new record, any more pristine, and it would have really lost that punch. Where like I think what I liked about Wage War's new record is I like mid-tempo riffs a lot. And I like, because you probably noticed half the songs of that record were like mid-tempo. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was a lot of a slower pace. Like another one of my favorite bands is like Parkway Drive. Do you know them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you know like their most recent two records, like Ire and Reverence?
No, I haven't listened to the latest stuff.
Okay. Because I find that stuff sounds like fucking huge. Like I think that's something, when I think about it, I think my favorite mixes of all time always sound massive. Rather than like punchy in a direct way that you're kind of talking about. So it's interesting. I'm definitely excited to see, as our Mirage continues to put out more music, how your mixing is going to change and kind of what you're going to put on it. Because you said the new material is more riffy, right?
Yes. Yesterday I finished a song, and that's probably the heaviest one and the low tuned one, like the most. Yeah, I got a new 7-string guitar, and I just want to try it out, and it's now in drop F, and it's gonna be super low, and it will. Yeah, that's gonna be the heaviest one, the one I did yesterday. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, because when I was listening to your 2020 record, because like I said in my reaction to Remedy, I noticed it was that kind of like what I consider like post hardcore, where it's like it doesn't like sound like metalcore, like As They Die and Killswitch Engage. So I'm curious, are you going like, because you guys are still different, like you're not that like, you don't seem to be very influenced by like melodic death metal, where a lot of those bands from the mid 2000s were. Like, what are your biggest influences when you're writing music?
My biggest influences, it's probably the bands I listen to when I like in the time when I write songs. Like at the moment, for example, I'm listening a lot to Dayseeker, for example.
Yo, they're good, man. Vultures and Sleep Talk, man.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite one is actually Burial Plot from them.
Yo,
fucking
that's a good one too, man. Dude. He has the craziest singing voice, man.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
Oh, dude.
I wish I could sing that high. It's like I almost get there, but there's like this little 10%, like the super high notes. I can't get there.
Man, it would be interesting to hear you do a cover of one of their songs.
I tried, but then there's like these notes that it's like just. I think like maybe one or two notes above where I can reach. Yeah,
dude. Rory, right? His name is Rory.
Yeah, Rory.
Dude, he's insane. I've literally he's probably one of the best singers I've ever heard. Like Jesus Christ, his voice is so fucking good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, no.
I agree.
I used to listen to them more, but yeah.
Yeah, Dayseeker. And like actually I listen to a lot of stuff that also my girlfriend, like she starts listening to music and then she's like repeating songs over and over and over. And
what's she into right now?
She likes a lot of Youngblood, like the new album of Youngblood, for example.
Yeah, dude, I like Youngblood.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And yeah, Nerve, Palisades, Captives, Hands Like Houses.
Oh, dude, I interviewed Trenton a couple months ago actually.
Oh,
From Hands
really?
Like Houses. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's an out there guy, man. His brain is on another level. He's a smart dude.
Okay. Cool. Well, I haven't listened to Hands Like Houses before my girlfriend started listening to them actually,
Shit.
and yeah, they have some really cool songs.
What
But
are your top three by them?
well, I only hear them all the time. I don't know the like when my girlfriend is putting them on, I just hear them, but I
Uh
don't know the titles of it. Well, like
yeah.
I think their most favorite famous one. What's it called?
There's I am
Let me
colorblind.
just check on Spotify.
Yeah, because they had some on the Dissonance album, like I am colorblind, and they had Monster, Overthinking.
Colorblind.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
This one.
that's a jam and a half, man. I love them. I've been
Yeah.
listening to them since probably 5 years or 6 years, a while ago. But
Yeah.
so sorry, finish up your thought though before I have another
What were we
question.
talking about again?
I was talking about what influences are influencing your music.
Oh
right now.
yeah. Yeah, as I said, I think it's always like what band I'm listening to, and like in 2020 it was a lot of Dayseeker, also Falling in Reverse.
Oh yeah,
Like the latest singles they put out
yeah,
are
Trilogy.
outstanding. Like Popular Monster is like
Yo, that's a jam. That's
up
such a
there.
fucking good song, man.
It's
Oh
like
my
it was
god.
like definitely the best song that came out in 2029 20, 2019.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I think it always depends on what I like to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Every record's a bit different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm
It
go on.
it all gets the inspiration from, I don't know.
Everywhere. But when are you thinking of coming out? Do you know when the record will probably be ready?
The next one, like we don't have a date yet. We talked to the label and we said like, okay, it doesn't make sense to put out an album right now because of Corona, and like, I mean, we put out an album, then Corona hit, and we played 3 shows of a 16-day tour. So,
Oh
and
man.
it got canceled or like rescheduled. Um, yeah, and right now it doesn't make sense if we can't tour. So we're just gonna put out singles and stuff. But what I can say, we were thinking about not putting Remedy on that album
Yeah.
because we like the stuff we wrote afterwards is like
Different.
different. Yeah, because Remedy is actually like a song that I wrote in the time like right after the tour got rescheduled, and then I was sitting at home because of Corona, and I was like bored, and then I wrote Remedy, and over the next few months and like until now, like all the songs I wrote with my bandmates and like also other friends are way different, and I think Remedy is like just the like the step to what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's like the bridge between the last record
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
this
the bridge.
record.
The bridge is the right word.
I feel like it serves that really well too. Like I feel Remedy's, honestly, I think Remedy, in my opinion, is the song that I like the most. Out of everything I've heard, I feel like Remedy has the most of an identity. Do you feel like on the record that you did in 2020, I found like there was a very strong similarity of the like, I think it's choruses. There's like, I found like there was a really strong similarity between almost every song, where that's not like a bad thing or a good thing. It's just kind of like what it was. Like, because you have some albums where like every song sounds completely different.
Yeah.
And then you have other records where there's a really strong sonic theme, and there's a certain way that a lot of the choruses are done, or a lot of the verses. And I found on the record that just passed for you guys, that one felt very like every song. I liked every song for that reason. That I was like, okay, I feel like every song was on a similar wavelength. What did you feel about it?
Well, actually, it was like kind of the intention to have songs that are like building up to each other, and give like that specific feeling. Because, like as I said, we have that theme for the band, with depressions and all that stuff, and we wanted, like, I mean, it's the second album, and we wanted to. It came kind of right after the album we did before. Like, the first album came out in 2018, in summer 2018, and 1.5 years later, in January of 2020, it came out. We put out the next album, so it just was like 1.5 years that passed, and like after we finished album number 1, we already wrote new songs for the second album, even if the first album wasn't out already. And so like, it's just like, let's say the second part of album number 1. And because it, like, album number 1 was like hitting super well, like was actually doing super well with sales and everything, and that's why we just wanted to do like the same stuff again. And now with the next album, we're trying to do like different stuff, but it's probably because of that, and of the themes of the whole, or the theme of the whole album, because that's probably because all the songs are sounding similar.
Yeah, there's a similarity that I picked up, and and because of that, it flows really nicely. And there's one song, the intro, was it Different Eyes? Is there a song called Different Eyes on that record?
The very first song is Rivers. Different Eyes is like the third one.
Third, yeah, that's my favorite song other than Transparent, because I find the intro for that song so cool. You have like, there's like a, I wish I could do that, but yeah, I find like I'm a sucker for extended intros. Like, I love when you set the mood, and like, yeah, it just builds and builds and builds. That's something that if you see enough of my reactions, you'll notice. Like,
yeah,
okay, if there's an extended intro, Anton's gonna like that. Yeah, I know.
You really should listen to the first album we put out. There are also some songs that are really special, and like, I think my all-time favorite song of us is also on there, and it's
really,
yeah.
Okay, you know what? After we're done this podcast, I'm gonna go for a walk, and I'm gonna just throw that album on. I'm just gonna get into Timo's world. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, no, man, I'm excited about this new one for you guys, because you guys are so new to me. Like, literally, man, I got into like a month ago. Like, it's like a brand new world. and like, yeah, I am excited. Also, who's the main songwriter in your band? Like, instrumentally, not just vocally.
That would be me.
So you do like fucking everything.
Yeah, like I'm sitting down in the studio, and start writing. I just grab my guitar and then program some drums, like write everything, and then when everything is done, I send it to the guys, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let's maybe try this, and this," and then. Like I said, yeah, come in the studio and we do it. And then it comes together like this, but mostly it's from me. Like on the very first album, like it was, let's say, mostly me in the most parts. On the second album, the others got involved even more. And on this one, it's going to be like more people involved, even outside of the band. And because, I got to know a person from the Netherlands, and he's probably the best guitarist I know. And
Really?
I can't think of a better one except for Jason Richardson, maybe.
He's insane.
Yes, and this guy is close to that. And I actually started a new band with this guy. But stuff is coming. I'm going to talk about this.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep that on the down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's from the Netherlands, and we always like meet on Discord, and then we're going to write songs together. Remedy was also written with him, for example. And we're just sitting there, and he's helping me with like getting cool riffs, cool new chords that I haven't used before because I don't know them. And like, I'm a good guitarist. I'm really a tight player and stuff, but like, I'm not like a perfect guitar player. Like, let's say I'm like a little bit above average guitar player, but it's enough for what I want to do with our Mirage, for example. And and he's giving like the extra 20% to the guitar performance then. And also like another friend from the Netherlands. I'm living close to the border to Netherlands.
I was gonna say, like, you know all these people from the Netherlands.
Yeah, like actually it's my two best friends now, these guys. And like the other one is also a singer of a band I produce. And they're called Out of Vision. And they like, he's also a singer, and we're like overworking vocal melodies. And like there's someone else involved, but I can't say that right now.
All good.
Yeah, it's going to be revealed at a specific time. So yeah, there's like, let's say, another producer involved to make this album even better. Like now there's two music producers working on that album. So
okay, dude, I'm stoked. That sounds awesome. And do you feel, because like, do you feel like our Mirage is going to be your main band forever? Or do you feel like you want to do something more collaborative where like you are just kind of writing the vocal melodies, and you have like, you know, the riff writer writing the riffs, the guitarist writing the songs, and an actual drummer starting from scratch without kind of your input? Like, where do you see yourself moving forward?
Well, that's a smooth transition to my second band project actually. Because what you just described is exactly like the new band project I started.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Which you can't say too much about, right?
No. I can talk about that band project.
Okay, cool. Go on.
Yeah, well, like for sure, like Mirage is my main band, and like we have experienced so many great things already. Like we've been on Europe tour, we have like this many views on YouTube and on Spotify, the streams and stuff, and all the stuff we experienced together. Like this band is always like going to be my main focus. But the second band, as I said, like the guy from the Netherlands, like me and him were like making music together, and I was like, okay, we both should do a song together that's like super fucking heavy and slaps super hard. And then we just like sat down. He came to the studio, and we wrote a song that's like, it's really heavy. And it's really riffy. Like it's not like 2007 metalcore or whatever. Like, let's say it's a mixture between Chelsea Grin and I Prevail.
That's I love I Prevail, man. Okay, that's a cool mix.
Like, so it's gonna be like deathcore riffs, and combined with metalcore riffs, combined with clean vocals. And we also have a second vocalist in that band project, because after we wrote that song, we were like, okay, we need a vocalist on there. So I asked the best screaming vocalist I know, which is Marius from Breakdowns at Tiffany's.
Dude, I listened to, they had a really good song like 6 years ago, didn't they?
Yes. Like,
and it,
yeah, and like, but like 6 years ago, they had a different vocalist back then. Like,
so he wasn't in the band?
Like the one we have now is the new vocalist, and they're only screaming. And he's like, this guy's just insane when it comes to vocals. Like he's he's a deathcore vocalist. Like
okay, so this is gonna be heavy.
Yes, but his vocals are like, if he screams and does his like growls and stuff, you know it's him. Like he has like this unique style of screaming, and you like from 1,000 vocalists, you would definitely hear him if you know him, and you would say, okay, this is him. And that's why I wanted him. And he put his vocals on there, and I did like clean vocals in that song. And then we were like, okay, now we need fucking good drums. Then I sent like we did MIDI drums, like program drums, and I sent it to the best drummer I know. I was like, hey, do you want to like overwork the drums for me? And he's the drummer of Time the Valuator. If you don't know that band,
I've heard. They had one song I've heard before. They have that big song that everybody knows. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, Elusive Reasons is like
yes, yeah, I've heard that song. That was a jam. Yes,
and this guy, like he's also the live sound engineer for our Mirage, actually. So I have a really good connection to him, and he's also one of my best friends. And yeah, I asked him to overwork it, and he's like such a good drummer, like super technical, like with ghost notes, and like he's just amazing. And he overworked the drums, and we're like, okay, do you want to like join the project? Should we just like make it a band? And we're like, okay, let's do it. And then for fun, I just sent the song, like how it was then, to the A&R manager of our label, and was like, okay, here, this is the song. What do you think about it? Like, I just want to hear your opinion. He was like, oh, dude, what are your plans with this? I was like, yeah, just, I don't know. We're searching for a channel, release it. And yeah, and he was like, okay, I'm going to talk to my boss. And yeah, now we got a record deal without a song out yet. So this is going to be good.
Dude, and I feel, are you going to be mixing the song?
Yes.
Because I feel like this will be really good practice for you, like mixing something way different, like heavy, like
yeah.
riffy.
Well, I've mixed heavy bands already, like a lot of, yeah. Like I'm doing, like on the western part of Germany, I'm like doing 80% of the bands here, and this is actually like the biggest scene here in Germany where I live. Yeah.
Do you know the band Any Given Day?
Yes, but they produced by their own guitarist. So
wait, their guitarist mixed their recent album.
Yeah.
He's because that mix was awesome, dude. I fucking love that mix. Probably because it sounds big, right? Which is like,
and Andy is a really good mixer as well. Like he would be also on the list, maybe.
Hey man, maybe he's your second guitarist one day.
Well, we already have a second guitarist.
Oh, okay.
He's also from a band I produce, but they're like doing like all this like blast beats and double bass and like. But he's like super fast with his fingers and technical and stuff. So I asked him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in," because like I'm well known in Germany, and it shouldn't sound cocky right now, but
no, dude, all good, man. Go for it.
Yeah, like, but the people told me like if I'm asking someone, they're like, okay, I'm in, because they know it's gonna be good.
Damn, man. I still can't believe I never even heard of you. Like, you're this like famous guy in Germany who I've never even heard of.
Well, yeah, it is like this.
Yeah, but no, that's dope, man. Okay. This
this project is going to be different, completely different than our Mirage. Like, expect choruses that fit to our Mirage, but packed in a deathcore song.
I like that, because that's kind of like, that's where like I think my heart's at when it comes to like my favorite bands of all time. I'm definitely I'm from the kind of mid 2000s. I'm like the melodic, what do you call, like melodic metalcore, like the As Lay Dying, Killswitch Engage, Bullet, Parkway Drive.
I just have an idea. I'm just gonna show you like the first 20 seconds
of this new song.
On my phone. Just
okay,
like,
let's show everybody the really terrible audio quality from a phone.
Yes. Okay, let's go. No. Okay. I'm just gonna skip to my favorite part. Where is it? Yeah, there it is.
Do you have your chorus in there? Do you sing in that song?
Yes.
Can I listen to your chorus?
Okay, but only a little bit.
Only a bit. I'm curious how. Okay, so yeah, that's very our Mirage. Okay, well, at the end of the day, that's just very you. Like that's how you sing. Okay,
exactly.
Yeah, that, man, I can already feel a good job on the mix on that one, because it sounds way different. Yeah, like way like, yeah, like heavy, like
aggressive.
The punch on the drums, like it's very tight. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. Honestly, screams are a bit heavy for me. I'm like a bit of a little girl when it comes to screamo and stuff. Like, yeah, pretty much I think the heaviest I really get is like As Lay Dying. And even then, not Tim's old stuff. Tim's old stuff is like scary for me.
But I still hope you're going to do a reaction video on that.
Hey, man, if we stay in touch, maybe. Yeah. No, that'll be interesting to like jump from our Mirage to that. Yes. But another thing, if I can ask this correctly, when you are producing a record,
yes,
how do you think of a record? For example, when I think of like my favorite records, whenever I think of records that I really, really like, a lot of them are very thematic musically. So again, I talk about Parkway Drive way too much, but I'll use Parkway Drive as an example, where like the recent album Reverence, like it starts off with like an acoustic guitar intro, and then there's cellos and strings, and those same cellos and strings kind of permeate through every single song in some way. Like there's some songs where they're like right in the forefront, and there's other songs where they just kind of play a bit of texture in the background. And like the cool thing about that record is the last song ends with the sound of him digging a ditch. And the first song starts off with the sound of him digging a ditch. So there's this like circular kind of idea musically in the record. And I know not all records have to be like this musical thematic masterpiece, but like when I think about like my favorite ones, like those, like I find Dude, I grew up with like Tim Burton and Henry Selick and like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like I love like really cohesive, dark, moody stuff.
Yeah.
And the question in all of that is, do you like, it's probably different for every record, but what do you think the job of a record is supposed to do to its listener?
Like it always depends on what band it is, what style they're doing for sure. But like when I start with the band, like it depends on if we're working on singles or on an album. And if we're creating an album, like I'm just trying to give that album that specific sound and a specific mood. Like for sure, the band has to be down with that as well. And but like what I like to do, what I also did for Our Mirage, is like creating a sound that you just hear like super quiet somewhere, but it's there. And you're gonna listen to something and like, oh yeah, that's Our Mirage, for example. And how I did that, for example, for Our Mirage is creating a synthesizer that's in every single song of Our Mirage.
Oh shit! Wow.
And yeah, you just put it in. it's like you just searching the sound. Like you have something on your mind, and then you're making like the synth. You like play around with it, and to a point where you like it, and then you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to use for the whole album. And it's important that it's not something that's super present, but something that's like super subtle somewhere in the background. Maybe in a verse that's quiet, or like the intro or whatever, and you're listening to it, and you know it's Our Mirage without knowing why you know it.
That's such a life hack. That's such a hack right there.
That's actually a thing that big bands also do. Like
really?
Yes. For example, Architects is like a really
Yo, dude, 100%. They always have a fucking spacey ambient thing in the background of all their songs.
You hear a song, like it starts, and you're like, oh, that's Architects.
Yeah,
and you don't
dude.
know why. And that's exactly
shit.
like they have specific sounds that resemble or represent the band. And it has to represent like the whole album, the whole mood you want to create. And that's what I'm doing with my bands as well. Like it's also like it's a part of that for sure. But yeah, like that's what I'm trying to do.
No, that's cool, man. And this is one thing I like about you, and I'm the same way, is that like it doesn't matter where I am, I'm always keeping my eye on like who's the best of the best and what are they doing, and like what can I learn, what can I incorporate. And like even when my channel was at like 500 subscribers, I was like treating it as if it was 1 million, you know?
Yeah.
I was like,
sure.
What are the top people doing with their thumbnails? What are they doing with their intros? Like
exactly.
At the beginning, I pretty much just copied them. Like I was like, what's Alex Hepburn doing? Okay, I'm just gonna copy that exactly. And over time, you figure out your own way of doing it. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're not to put words in your mouth, but like, what do you call yourself? Like a perfectionist? Like in that kind of way?
Yeah,
me too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I tinker with things for so long, and then I have to be like, okay, it's done. Even if it's imperfect, I have to like set it out into the world.
Yeah. It's at some points you just have to like say, okay, I can go on like this for hours now, but it's not going to make it better. Probably worse. And so like for especially with a mix. I really had to. I had to learn that. Like I was mixing, and then like, oh fuck, it's 8 hours already, but I'm not done. And I was done like 5 hours ago.
I don't know if you can relate to this, but I feel like the thing with art in general, anything that like can be configured to the nth degree, you almost like have to have a rubric for starting out. Like you almost have to like find a centerpiece and be like, okay, I'm only going to tweak this within 10%.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, yeah, like, because if you don't have that centerpiece, like, you have this entire infinite tapestry that you're like, this song would sound good 150 different ways. But
Yeah,
I need to like start with an idea in my head and just only mix to like kind of perfect that idea rather than try to change the thing into like other ideas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that's something like I when I write a song, for example, I always start with the chorus because like I feel it's the centerpiece of the whole song. I start with the chorus and make it epic, and then I build everything around that. When the chorus sounds good, I get the inspiration for everything around that, and like, yeah.
No, I could feel that too. And like I said, when I said like in your in the Remedy reaction, when I said like, I know this guy's gonna have a strong voice, right? Because like I think what I was picking up on was that is like the verses were bleeding from the chorus. I could feel like where your chorus is gonna be. I kind of knew. I was like, I know where this chorus is gonna go because like you everything bled from the chorus. The DNA came out of that. And I think probably all of my favorite. I think all of the best music in the world, the biggest music probably is that because what is pop? What is mainstream music? It's like the fucking circle jerking of the chorus. It's like nothing matters but the chorus, literally. And yeah, I feel like because like I love pop, man, especially with this reaction channel. I've realized how much I did a Madonna reaction yesterday. And like I was like, this song rocks. Like it was like a prayer. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Like literally, like it's this pop song, but it's dark and it's atmospheric, and there's like gospel chanting in the background. And, like it's a fucking dope song, and I'm just like, it doesn't matter if it's rock, metal, pop, R&B. A good song is a good song. Exactly.
I mean, I also like I don't listen to radio or like the charts or whatever.
Neither do I.
But if I find a good song, it's a good song. For example, I like Machine Gun Kelly, the new stuff.
Dude, like, he's so
really good. Yeah, it's really, really great stuff. I found him over like I Think I'm Okay with Youngblood together.
Great song.
Yeah. That one got me hooked on Youngblood and Machine Gun Kelly. And also, I really love Post Malone. I was jamming both of the albums like so much. And I like some of the Billie Eilish songs. And I like Chainsmokers.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're good.
Like, if it's a good song, it's a good song. So...
Well, and I feel that's what's making rock and metal interesting right now. Is like when you look at like the biggest rock metal bands, they seem to all be incorporating so many different influences. Yeah. In very unique ways. And I feel like it's becoming oversaturated right now because like every rock and metal band has the glitched out vocals and the like dubstep-ish breakdown. Like that's kind of like really, really popular. But like it's cool, man. I like bands trying new things. Like I'm waiting for like them to like loop back around into like 2007 melodic death metal territory where like they have melodic death metal riffs and like dubstep breakdowns and clean vocals and stuff. Like that would be like my holy grail because guitar wise, man, that's my favorite style of all time. In Flames is like my favorite guitarist. Just melodic death metal. It's just so like moody, atmospheric, melodic, but like heavy and as fuck. And I'm just like, this is the shit. I just love it. But anyway, we gotta get to the final questions because we got 5 minutes, man.
Okay.
Okay. So, usually, so one thing, I don't even know if you know this, but this isn't even a music podcast. This is actually more like a psychology, philosophy, cultural podcast.
Okay.
So my final questions are like probably deeper than you're thinking. But what is, and I mean this in life, what is the most important lesson you've learned in the last year?
In the last year? Hmm. Oh, that's a hard one. Maybe it's like, I think it's something I already knew, but I realized it even more. Is that I mean, like the whole Corona stuff happened in the last year, and like everyone like was sitting at home, couldn't do shit. Like I used to go on tour and play big festivals and stuff, and also that would have happened in 2020, but unfortunately it couldn't happen. And like that got me down at first. I was super sad when we were driving back from Hamburg, Germany to the band practice room to bring the stuff back after 3 days of tour. I was super sad, and I was a little bit afraid of what was coming because I didn't really know what was going to happen and how this all with the virus is going to evolve. And but then I realized that it's important to look forward and make the best out of even the worst situation. And so I started writing songs a lot, and I started a new band project and stuff. Like also, even if it's a shitty time, like good stuff happens, and you have to appreciate those good little things. And because they can make your day or your whole week or your whole month or whatever, or the rest of the year. And yeah, I think that's kind of like, I already knew that, but like this year like made it even clearer, I think.
Yeah, like this year you had to live it, not just understand it on a cognitive level. Yeah. No, that I feel like that is what I'm gathering is like, yeah, whatever life hands that you, see the kind of silver lining, go with it in stride, learn from it, and it will cause you to grow. It will cause you to be a better person. It will cause you to be a more resilient person. And when things go back to normal, and when you're back to your best, you will be a different person. You'll be better. You'll be more evolved. And who knows, maybe this time will give you the kind of strength internally to push our Mirage to the next level. Like, when you come back out to the world, like, I kind of have some like spiritual woo-woo beliefs and shit. So I kind of believe like everything happens for a reason. And I feel like sometimes it's not your time, and then but it will be your time when it's your time.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's important to stay on the track, like to not lose your goal you're aiming for example, because if you're gonna like, even if there's like metaphoric bricks on your way, like it's nothing that should like hold you back. Like all the stuff is there to grow, and to grow over it and become like a better version of yourself and achieve your goals and like go for what you want to do. Like if I wasn't like this, I wouldn't have made it as a music producer, for example. And like after I lost the contract with the Sony deal, for example, when I was 16, I was like, okay, my life is over. I'm never going to get a record deal again or whatever. But I like kept going. And then I had like this prize we won. And after that band broke up, I like had that big YouTube channel. After that, I had another record deal with millions of views and stuff. It's like all like going for what you love and what you do and what you want to achieve. And yeah.
No, man, you are that kind of person. I can see it. Like, just from a young age, like, I don't know if a chip on your shoulder is the right word, but like for some reason, I don't know what makes it unique about you, but you have like high goals, higher than most people, I feel. And that, as someone who shares that, I am very much the same way. I want to turn fucking arc vision into like a massive brand and have my own convention and like have conferences and like panels like Comic-Con, they call it like Vision Con or something. I don't know. But like, yeah, like it's a blessing and a curse. And it's only a curse if you're impatient, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to make it, man. I'm sure you're going to make it.
Thanks, brother. Man, you too, honestly. You've made it already. For you, it's like remaking it and then progressing past that.
Yeah.
But man, 100%, I can see it with you too, man. It's just, yeah. Ever since I heard that song, Remedy, I was like, yeah, this guy, he's going far. I even said that in my reaction too. I said, you guys are going far. But lastly, if people want to get a hold of you, where can people find you? Where do you want people to find you?
Well, people can find us on Instagram for sure, on Facebook, on YouTube, and like in Germany, Twitter is not a big thing, but we got a Twitter account now. Like just search for All Mirage Band and you'll find everything. And if you want to contact me, you can just search for me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
You're famous. They'll find you. All right. Well, Timo, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, man.
Thank you for inviting me.
And to everyone watching and listening, hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you for tuning into the show, and I'll see you again next week, probably. All right. I love you guys. Peace.